Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2, and just like the entire season, we could not put the ball at the back of the net in the first 20 minutes. Alafu Liverpool wakam to quick fire 2-0 uko chini. And this is something that has plagued us the entire season. I mean, it's something that we can all see. As an Arsenal fan, everyone, even at the beginning of the season, walikuwa nasema Maze, you need a striker. I mean, I was very adamant kasema Z. We had goals coming from everywhere. Like, we are good. I was wrong. I accept I was wrong. And everyone, apart from me, believed that we could actually, that we're not going to do it, right? Like, everyone knew that. All Arsenal fans were like, we're getting goals from Saka, from Martinelli, Odegaard in midfield. Do you know, if you take our top 3 Premier League goal scorers and put their goals combined, Salah has still scored more than all of them. And that is insane to think about. Of course, Havertz has missed through injury. Saka also missed a good chunk of the season through injury. But Martinelli is a point he was just misfiring, right? Trossard, he gets goals, but then they're not that goal that... I mean, he gets goals, actually. Havertz is the one who was always getting the 4th goal in a 5-1 win. No, very rarely, there's a few occasions, I think Brentford is one of them, and I forget the other one, where he scored like the one in the 1-0, you know. Even Man City, he had the chance to score the goal to put us fast. We ended up winning 5-1, but he scored the 4th goal, you know. So... yeah, again, attack has just been our biggest issue. Arteta's press conference after this game was very telling. Jamile Mbaya, amesema say, these are not the standards that we hold. And I agree with him. He has to say that as the coach, right? We have very high standards. And we do not keep them in the first 20 minutes. That's him as a coach. I agree with him as an analyst if I'm analyzing this game I'm not an analyst. As a fan who's looking at this game from the outside. But as a fan, now I'll probably be playing the role of like an assistant coach and telling them, guys, think about it. You've played high-level games the last 8 days. We have had injuries. Every team has had injuries, so this is not an excuse. It's just to say there's a group of players who've played 90 minutes, like the full 90, high intensity. The 2 PSG games, this game. Not even this game, the 2 PSG games and then the Bournemouth game, because Bournemouth were pressing high. Bournemouth were coming at us. Like, they did not give us a chance to breathe, you know. 2 weeks before that, you were playing Real away, then you played another Real game away. It's like the same core of like 6-7 players who are playing every day. And for you to go 2-0 down at Anfield and find a way to fight back in the second half was quite impressive. Like, the bounce back ability of the squad, it's not been always there the whole season, but despite all the issues we've had a lot of injuries that have hampered, of course, our progress, but all teams have injuries, so it's not an excuse. But for us to have all these injuries and still have the best defense in the league, 33 goals conceded, no one has conceded less than us. We've scored 66, is not great. I think Newcastle, Man City and Liverpool have scored more than us, and managed to get to a semi-final of the Champions League. Again, I'm looking at positives. It's not great. As an Arsenal fan, we will be bantered. We have to live with it. Our team has not performed. So, pia mkipo banta ni hivyo mnakubali. Like, there's no... hakuna kuhepa, unacheki. But I really feel like this squad of players have... to me, they've proven something to me. Like, these guys will fight. They will fight to the end. We lacked at the end. We didn't manage to get there, but we really fought. Martinelli's goal was really good in terms of his movement. I don't know what Van Dijk is doing. How can the smallest player header pass you 2 giants? And Van Dijk is normally so good at those cutbacks and then the ball comes in late trying to look for someone in the back post. Van Dijk is normally so good at that. So the fact that he came up a bit and he left Martinelli by himself was quite a bit shocking. But also, that was something that we changed in the second half. We put Martinelli at striker. And I think they had not adjusted to it yet because I feel like they were still expecting Merino to come into the box. And he was outside. So I think Van Dijk was looking at Merino. I think, I'm not sure, but he wasn't in the box. So that is the one change that we did at halftime that I feel like made a big difference. So we put Martinelli in the middle. Merino now started going a bit wider. Trossard was dropped into midfield, and then Ben White was pushed further up, and Saka was put next to Martinelli. So it was sort of a 4-4-2, but at times when we're attacking and Saka is not in the box, he's outside, Martinelli is playing up front by himself. Ben White pushes up, gets to the byline. He got there so many times. So that one change that Arteta made, I feel like made a big difference. But even to be able to come back and actually draw this game 2-2 was quite wild. My captain, Martin Odegaard, with that shot that led to the Merino goal. Odegaard has heard you guys talk about him. To be fair to you guys as well, performance like as Jakua in many games. ever since he came back from that injury, performances as Jakwa. But the last like 2-3 games, it's like Rice was wheeling the team forward and Odegaard followed suit, right? Even today, there are times where the way he's carrying the ball, the last 2 games, he's carrying the ball into dangerous positions, something that he rarely did. He would always look for that pass as the first option. Again, this is something that Keenan said on the pod. As a great number 10, you have to be able to have the threat of both. You have to be able to show the opposing team that you can run into space with the ball, or you can make those passes that create opportunities into space. So last 2 games, Odegaard has stepped up. I'm not even gonna lie. I will blindly support this guy because when we were dying, when we were shit 3 years ago, he's the one who brought back. He's an extension of the coach on the pitch, and he's the one who started this whole thing, right? When Aubameyang was fired and he became captain, our first year trying to contend for the title, youngest team in the league, and he was the captain. He was the leader. He was the extension of the coach on the field. He was the one leading the press. He was the one creating. He was the creative hub for the team, So it's not like the other teams are just sitting down waiting you to get better and better. Everyone is studying your every move, right? And I feel like the one game where he was really exposed, but I wouldn't say that's his fault. That was more of Arteta, was PSG first leg. PSG first leg, Luis Enrique actually just outschooled Arteta, to be honest. First leg. Second leg, Arteta. The thing with Arteta is if once he makes a mistake and sits down and analyzes the other team, he will find ways. That man will find ways. And that's where the Enrique experience comes in. And he just... So second leg, even though we started that game so well, it was a bit too late. Mikel Merino scored the goal. Very, very happy for him. But he had a nightmare like 3 minutes. And again, before when he made that mistake that led to the shot, I said, guys, just remove this guy. I was like, bring on Nwaneri. Let's have Calafiori come in, move Skelly to midfield. Nwaneri can go and play in the middle, and then and then Trossard moves to the left. Or you just find a way to rotate that front 4. So when he made the changes and I saw Tierney coming in, I thought Merino was going off. Merino doesn't go off. He takes off White, who looked very tired, to be honest. Again, it's good to see him get good minutes after his injury. And then who else did he take off? I forget who else he took off. But Merino stayed on the field. And I was like, what is happening? Literally the next play, he does the same thing. Again, he's one of these 6-7 players that has really, really put in a shift the last few weeks. So it's messed up, but the fatigue was there. You can see it. But you also look at the bench, you're like, what options do we have? Because again, yes, bring on Merino, but then your midfield is just light, So I get the thinking, but the boy has put in a big shift the last few weeks. Merino is one of those guys, even at Sociedad, even at Spain, he would never play full 90 minutes many times because that's just something that his body, there are people who just can't handle, their bodies just can't handle it. But you give him good 60 minutes here, 70 minutes here, come off the bench, cameo and all of that stuff, you mix it up, it's good. But he's hard to play every week, every day. I think he only missed the Bournemouth game. But he's hard to play 90 minutes. Again, there's just not numbers in midfield and he's hard to do it because he's our most prolific striker at this moment. And he's the only option. When Partey was out, he had to play with Rice. When Rice is now out, he has to play. So he solves a lot of problems. He has to play. So that red card, in as much as it was dumb, our 6th red card of the season, 6 out of 38. We finished games with 10 players. Merino he's been a good servant. This one was it was a tough one to watch and a tough one to take. And I think I'll just put it down to fatigue. His legs couldn't get there. He honestly could not get there. But Liverpool champions, the really good performance. The goals, the quickfire goals were insane. Like, first of all, the thinking, Cody Gakpo and Robertson on that wing, very, very quick. I feel like VR should have intervened, especially on the second goal. But the fact that it was cleared, again, maybe we have to just say automated offside was working so well that they didn't even show us a replay. But they really put us to the sword. That like 3-minute spell, that's where they're champions. So I'm glad we got this point at Anfield. Newcastle are now only 2 points behind us. We play them next week. Crucial game. We have to win. And just secure our spot. I really want us to finish second. I wouldn't want to. Someone already said that we were finishing third. We could finish third in a 2-horse race. And I do not want that banter. The banter I'm getting is already enough. And sijui mmetoka wapi. Hii chuki ya Arsenal ni mob. Like I knew there are people who didn't want us to win, but mpaka madem wenye wauchingi ball wanaanza kupost maril. Nashanga kwa nini? Tuliwafanyia nini? Lakini ni sawa. Ni sawa. Kama tas. Next season yetu, Netflix FC, we will be back next season. But yeah, good performance. 2-2, we'll take it at Anfield.